Yeah, man, and today we're reacting to a Warlockracy video. It's been a while since I've reacted to his stuff, and yeah, this one is Planet Alcatraz. What if Vlad Putin made an RPG? No idea what this is about, and yeah, because I think there was a new video that Warlockracy put out, and then someone commented saying I should watch and react to this one, and then Planet Alcatraz 2 as well, as some, I guess, backstory to the new video, because I think it's related. I'm not sure, because I mean, obviously I haven't seen the new one yet, so yeah, I mean, I haven't seen this one, so might as well react to it and see what it's about. It's an RPG, but a whole planet of Alcatraz. I feel like, seems weird to have like a whole planet like in Alcatraz, seeing, but I mean, I guess I don't know what the terrain is in that planet, but we'll see what it's about. All right.
Planet Alcatraz is a 2006 RPG in which a Soviet boomer explains what other races are really like and what the woman's role in society is.
So basically, a game that won't be made nowadays, unless if it's by an indie studio. Am I wrong? But anyways, yeah, I seems, I don't know how he finds these types of games, but yeah, it's always very, I mean, at least to me, it seems very unique. Good, that's another subject matter, but yeah, let's continue.
Consider this to be a content warning. There is no millennial RPG more politically incendiary than Planet Alcatraz.
Oh.
This video is more or less safe, but when you see Flowey from Undertale show up in the corner of the screen like this, it means something fucked up is about to follow. The reason it's unknown to foreigners is because, well, the original is almost entirely written in untranslatable Russian prison jargon, and the English version is supposedly very heavily censored. You just know it's going to be an experience when a game starts with the lead writer walking to the camera to explain himself. Welcome to the video game Planet Alcatraz. The game is masterfully created based on a book I wrote. The book is about the difficult fate of the Special Operations Brigade Deadhead, best commandos in the galaxy. The game is also about these wonderful people.
I don't think I've ever seen a video with, or I don't think I've ever seen a video game where the developer is in the intro explaining the game. I think the closest I've ever experienced would have to be, I don't know if anyone played it, but it was like Mark Leung's Revenge of the B Word. I still have it. I think I still have it installed. I just haven't really played it, but I think he did all the cutscenes. So, I mean, as a character, of course, but yeah, nothing like this.
The man in front of you is Dmitry Goblin Puchkov. He is responsible for this game and for about half of the Russian online culture. Born in 1961 in Kirovograd. Mother worked in a school for the disabled. Father was a Soviet instructor of the North Korean army. Dmitry was drafted in the military in 1980, drove a truck, became a sergeant. During the following turbulent period, he found employment as a taxi driver, blacksmith, locksmith, plumber, electrician, dog handler, librarian, assistant driller.
I'm just, for some reason, like, the Costa Concordia came to mind when he was like listing all these skills, and yeah, he's more qualified than the Costa Concordia's pilot. Because like the pilot was like a carpenter, and what was like a fisherman. Yeah, like this person's had so many more skills.
Plumber, electrician, dog handler, librarian, assistant driller, engineer hydrogeologist, and a Xerox machine salesman. In 1992, he became a cop. Claims he read The Gulag Archipelago by Solzhenitsyn and wanted to see if it was all true. Puchkov changed a number of police-related professions. First, he worked with police dogs, then in a prison, and then as a criminal investigator. A journalist wrote an article critical of cops, calling them goblins in police coats. notes.
So that's how he gets his
took this
name.
as his online handle. When I said he invented half of the Russian online culture, that was barely an exaggeration. Puchkov ran and still runs one of the first blogs in the Russian internet. He translated foreign movies, wrote for early gaming magazines and websites. His specialization were boomer shooters, or as they were known back then, shooters. Quake was the favorite game. He wrote a lot about multiplayer tactics, early esports, about Team Fortress. Not this Team Fortress. Not this Team Fortress.
Like the OG
This one. The original.
Yeah.
Puchkov authored several books, became a YouTube pioneer. And here is Goblin a month ago in a Swastika event. That's the story so far. Given the trajectory, we could see President Goblin at some point. So it makes sense for us to examine the art he makes. Planet Alcatraz is a role-playing game. As you complete the mission, you get to visit exotic places, meet colorful characters, and shoot them if you so wish. The game's story is non-linear. The consequences of words and actions might surprise you. Be careful.
Okay.
Understand that the game's events take place in a very peculiar place, a prison planet, populated with scum, rapists, murderers, cannibals, and racists.
So it's more like a Bethesda RPG where choices matter, or I guess where choices actually matter, and it's more engaging than a Bethesda. I don't know.
This garbage doesn't respond well to humane treatment. You'll have to be uncompromising and tough.
Right.
We are a member of the sabotage and reconnaissance group Upir, which means a vampire or a ghoul in Russian. Seaman Silence is a prison planet somewhere on the periphery of our vast star empire. The planet's named after a really existing federal prison in Moscow. The Imperial Intelligence received word that the inmates are secretly assembling a starship. Our task is to infiltrate the planet undercover, posing as prisoners, find the location of the illegal starship, and destroy it.
Are you gonna Stargate
This
too?
is what hyperspace travel looks like. The Empire is incredibly technologically advanced. The protagonist of the game is a soldier called Kaban. As a man in the service, he doesn't just fuck around doing whatever. He executes the order given to him.
Okay.
Kaban, the Space Marine, is a true internationalist. He equally hates moral freaks of any shade of skin color. The name means boar in Russian. We can tweak the appearance sliders here, but no matter what we do, Kaban will be distinctly Kaban-shaped. The RPG system is a dollar store Fallout. The Imperial weapon skill is kind of like the energy weapons in Fallout 1 and 2. It's meaningless to take it early, but the Imperial weapons are powerful late-game items. I select Thievery and Melee as Kaban's preferred skills, as is recommended by any guide. Nobody will leave unsatisfied, irrespective of race and nationality. Kill them all!
An equal opportunist. So, as one would say.
Kaban wakes up after a crash landing. He was left for dead. His friends are gone. Two locals approach us. Sweet white man, come alive. Me love alive white man better than dead. What be your name, princess? Planet Alcatraz plays kind of like an Infinity Engine game, although for the first half of the experience, Kaban will be adventuring solo. We won't reassemble our Space Marine squad until much later. I make Kaban gather potatoes. It's important to do this since the other notable difference between this and an Infinity Engine game is the potato-based combat system. In battle, the single most important variable is the number of healing consumables we have in our inventory, carrots and potatoes.
Right.
The Planet Alcatraz word for a black person is a Negro. It's not supposed to be derogatory. This used to be a common way of referring to people of African heritage in the post-Soviet space. Make a mental note.
I mean, it does mean black in other languages as well, albeit you say it with an accent. But yeah.
That people who made this game almost certainly never met many black people, or possibly not even a single black person in their entire life. There simply weren't many individuals of African descent in the USSR. Later, we'll meet a character who explains that there are two distinct groups of black people on the planet. The first group are the sophisticated blacks who live near the Aryan town. They seem to have been modeled based on Russian understanding of what the African-American culture is like. And the second group are essentially essentially just European colonial stereotypes, like the old ones from the Age of Sail. Members of this community are portrayed as stupid, they believe in magic spells, and are too dumb to speak the human language properly. Another major ethnic group are the Asians, or the Chinamen, like the game calls them. They dress in Japanese clothing, use weapons from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and say L instead of R. And then, much later, we'll meet the Aryans, who dress in Wehrmacht uniforms and occasionally use German words in dialogue. The Aryans are hated by everybody, by the Asians, blacks,
I guess that makes sense.
A white man from a flying box. My spear will beat your spear. When the game disrespects someone, it makes fun of the way they talk. As we are about to battle the inhabitants of the little tutorial camp, the two survivors from the pod are about to make their escape. It's a little confusing, but these two are not our squad members, just some random inmates that arrived with us. Stop! I came here for you, victims of justice. My name is Hamster, and from now on you are my daughters. Move it, mutants. March! It's important to avoid getting surrounded, because even weak enemies can stunlock you.
Yes, that makes sense.
Is the only way of achieving victory in battle, says Kaban the philosopher. The inventory management mechanics are fairly sophisticated.
Looks like Doom. Or not Doom, but it looks like Diablo.
You can play dress up. There are several layers of clothing, kind of like in Morrowind. Most of the early game guns are one...
So like, Project Zomboid type of wear, but with Diablo-like inventory UI, maybe?
Shot improvised firearms, like the pipe weapons from Fallout 4, except these are discarded after use. Back when they were making this game, there was this popular movie about a veteran of the war in Chechnya going to New York to take revenge on an American businessman. The movie had a scene with an improvised firearm that looked very similar to the ones featured in the game. The final thing to do in the tutorial is to kill the gorilla monster. Thanks to all the carrots we collected, this is trivial.
Right. Wait, so I thought I saw him stack the potatoes before. I guess maybe that's like a skill? Because I was like, why won't you just stack the carrots as well?
Carrots we collected, this is trivial. Kaban
Behind
managed
you.
to surprise the mysterious man from earlier, but then he himself gets surprised. Promzona means industrial zone. It's a walled prison where inmates work until they die. A gulag. I like this concept art a lot. The ghouls in charge collect the disoriented prisoners dropped for morbid and work them to death, making something. So, we only got 3 of them? From a full drop? The chest fell hard. Many got crushed. There was a squabble. We got whoever we could. No reason to squabble over this one. Don't you see he has a stage 3 syphilis? The zone is huge, and this is just one area out of several. Feels a little over-designed. This is not the world map. This is the Promzona map. It's basically a city. Our goal is to escape. In this dialogue, we can choose to either be polite or rude to the guard. And this is the single most important choice in the Promzona. If we talk shit, they put us in the isolation, where we meet this guy, who tells us about his escape plan. If we follow this...
They're supposed to send you to the isolation room, but the isolation room has another person in it, so by definition, when you go into that room, you're not isolated. Oh, I mean, okay.
Branch, we eventually become a local electrician, I think. But if we are polite to the guards, who are very clearly a privileged caste in the gulag, we can become one of them. So, be rude, become an electrician. Be polite, become a guard. You can't claim the choices here don't have consequences, except the sad consequences are a little random and arbitrary. Hey, Goover, a new arrival is extra confrontational, not accustomed to discipline. We thought he was your kind of patient.
Oh, wow.
Let's appreciate just how good the combat theme is. It's energetic and, I don't know,
It's not
ironic,
bad.
fits the tone of the game well. Unfortunately,
bad.
Planet Alcatraz has very few music tracks, but a lot of combat. We'll be hearing this track a lot.
No.
The main issue I have with this...
It's like, oh, music is such a... it's such a, like, depending on the game, right? Most of the time, music is such an important factor. And I guess in rhythm games, it's the core factor, obviously. but it's like it's so easily overlooked. That and sound effects as well, because like the music sets the mood so well. To like you can differentiate the like how the player feels in any given moment, given what the music is. Like say, I guess an easy example would be like Slender Man. If the ambient background music was just like a, I don't know, a comical carnival type music, you won't be as scared as you would be if it was a more ambient, spooky sounding backing track, right? So yeah, I mean, I'm all for good music in games. Some don't have it.
Place is that being a gulag, it's very bland visually. But the game suddenly became a lot more fun once I learned that
Yeah,
you
they
get
can stack
experience
potatoes.
for stealing items. It's very easy to steal crap from other inmates, and you get
I guess it
XP
doesn't
per
show the
item
stack.
based on its value. I got 2 levels in 5 minutes, an actual functioning industrial facility. And this is what they make here in the gulag. Guns.
Rats.
We are asked to test fire some of the designs and then give our opinion on them. Kaban is a space marine, so he's knowledgeable in this kind of stuff. Selling all the garbage we stole, becoming a Promzona oligarch. The assets in the
Yeah.
mines feel like they were borrowed from another game, which they might have been. Planet Alcatraz was made on the engine of Dawn of Magic, a fantasy RPG that looks
I don't
like
think I've heard of that
this.
one either.
And here is a screenshot of a very early prototype with sprite graphics. I like this
Yeah, that
style.
seems very
This
Fallout.
is the engine Knyaz was made on, another little-known fantasy RPG.
Oh,
Promzona
never
is
heard of that one either.
multi-ethnic. The leader of one of the black factions is called Snowball, which is a Stanley Kubrick reference. Dmitry Puchkov didn't become famous for writing Quake articles. He became famous for translating foreign movies. Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket had one of them Goblin translations.
Yeah, it's like when did this come out? I know he said it earlier, but like early YouTube, at least like translations are just, nowadays we have the auto-generated caption translations, and even then I think we still have some fan subs going on YouTube, at least for music. But early on, just like translations was so popular. Like I think even I did some I did some translation. I didn't translate. I just did the subbing and editing on some Korean songs, and like this was before like the K-pop wave hit the States. Like, I think for like the second time. But like, I think like the stuff I did was like early Big Bang. What was it? Girls' Generation. The like what was it? DBSK, I think was one of them. I think that it's been a while since I've done anything like that though. But yeah, translations are important, especially in a time where they're not readily available. So if someone does it, that they're gonna get the views, at least back then.
The game references the movie several times.
Харе Кришна, Харе Рама.
I also I've never seen that movie. I mean, I've seen references to it, but yeah, I just never seen that movie before.
Харе Смеха Панорама.
Smiecho Panorama is a Russian stand-up TV show from the 90s. Dad
Okay.
humor. What does it have to do with the game? Nothing. It rhymes with
Right.
Rama, which is a Hindu god Kaban invokes to make fun of the Gulag cultists. You see why this game is untranslatable. A gym. They have a bench, another bench, and this thing for squats that can double as a bench. This is the most bro gym ever, and I completely approve.
Хоп, хей, ла-ла-лей, я, где вопросы, где ответ?
Kaban dancing and singing is the effect of alcohol or drugs. A gulag discotheque. Eventually, Goover, the boss, promotes us. He complains that the
Okay.
inmates are fleeing from Zona on a train. Interesting. The game's UI has a dedicated button for extorting money. Kaban yells a bunch of obscenities and the victim either surrenders their possessions or tells him to go fuck himself. I think it depends on the authority stat or whatever it's called. Unfortunately,
Right.
Kaban's comfy life in the gulag is about to come to an end. It's all because of a misunderstanding. The driver is chained to the train. Says if we fight off the black shirts, we can escape together. I didn't even say yes. Hey, you scabic mite! Who give you permission to come near the train? We are under orders to kill for this kind of shit. Brothers, we have another Aryan spy! Get him! The guards don't stand a chance because we're so overleveled thanks to all that pickpocket XP.
It's also all that that train. Like, there's so much food. And I don't even know what these vials are, but yeah, he wasn't lying about the battle is won with the inventory full of food.
Not a chance, because we're so overleveled thanks to all that pickpocket XP.
Right.
Finally, we're somewhere else. The Promzona episode isn't terrible, but it really started to drag by the end.
Oh no.
Kaban, this is not a good time. These sounds. That's a human pretending to be a giant mutant rat that's dying. Speaking of
If you don't have the budget, you don't have the budget. You gotta make do somewhere,
things
right?
pretending to be something they're not. The game was masterfully created based on the book I wrote. I don't want to give you a false impression that I'm a reader of books, a booker, is that the term? Thanks to your Patreon donations, I can now do this.
Huh.
You know what this reminds me of? Same energy.
So maybe that's why I was told to like watch and react to this one and the second one, because I mean there's references to Quake. I mean he did also talked about like the OG Team Fortress, which was a Quake mod. So
This book is fucking weird. It begins with a short science fiction story about Kaban the Space Marine, but then it goes, the soldiers were
Space
taught
Marine.
warfighting skills via training simulations. The one the army used was called Quake. Most people thought it was a video game, but the soldiers knew what's up. The reason it was considered to be a video game is because the simulation was based on the real events. And then, I shit you
Right.
not, the book transitions from a science fiction novel to a player guide on Quake multiplayer. This is what 60 or 70% of it is. Strategy, terminology,
What?
console commands, Team Fortress classes, tactics for individual
What?
maps. This section contains detailed instructions on how to record and play match recordings, or demos how they were called. Puchkov even named
So the thing that comes to mind was I don't even know if this is like a real thing, but Ninja didn't Ninja put a book out about Fortnite? Is that similar to this in terms of like not subject matter, but like the contents involved, like a guide to I was not expecting this, especially with the like hardcore guides, at least like this in all text. I would not expect it to be hardcover, because when I associate hardcover guides with stuff that includes like pictures and stuff, not just all text. But I mean, I guess back in the day, the guides I used were game fact guides, and that didn't have any pictures except for the ASCII art that had the title. So
drops a bunch of famous players from his era, most notably Thrash, who was the guy who won Carmack's Ferrari in a Quake game against Entropy in 1997. Well, this is
What about
certainly not what I
Fatality?
expected. Back to planet Alcatraz. Welcome to
Look at those
Severny.
birds.
The name means northern town, the biggest settlement in the game, possibly the biggest on the planet.
okay.
Smells like the insides of a dead man's asshole. I can feel the stench with my ears. The homeless person
Right.
informs us that the Gulag escapees are usually sent back to the Promzona. We should change clothes. Stop it! The poorest district of Severny. Looks like a giant trash heap, but I do like that the people here are no longer dressed in blue robes. The item description says,
Look at those
clothing for
food.
homosexuals and prostitutes. A Marine would be embarrassed to wear this. Our dudes aren't actually called Marines. The game uses the Russian word for paratrooper, so we're like interstellar paratroopers. In the Soviet and Russian military culture, paratroopers occupy the same space as Marines do in the United States. More badass than the army, less badass than special forces. So I'm gonna just call them Marines for simplicity's sake. We are still
Okay.
wearing some of the clothing from the Promzona, so the gangsters recognize us. I could have reloaded, but effort. Opening locks and pickpocketing gives more XP than quests and murder. The homeless person has 3 guns in his inventory. He must be from Space America.
Okay. More dancing.
A Russian game, so a lot of alcohol and vodka-related humor. Translation not required. Stealing from this guy gave me more XP than clearing a map full of monsters. Convicts would randomly engage in these little...
How do you have half a shirt? Or half... Unless it's like... Is it folded? Because I do see like a little thing here that's indented. That could be another arm sleeve, but... Because this you can fold, but then this robe you can't. I'm confused about how they do their thing there.
And clearing a map full of monsters. Convicts would randomly engage in these little social fights with one another.
Okay.
We're looking for the hijacker of the Promzona train. Do you know anything about this? We should move on. A dozen stalls in the market district, and there is a dedicated vendor selling sexy clothing. The priest puts us...
Is clothing gender locked? Because I don't think you mentioned that. I feel like if you just wore all the bottom, that'll be interesting.
Selling sexy clothing. The priest puts us in contact with Blackie, an Imperial agent working on the planet undercover. He is our commanding officer.
Name.
Behave, soldier, or I'll bring in a pair of strong Negroes. They'll teach you to love the Empire. So what do you want with me? You can rub the floor, the toilet is clogged, you can give me a pedicure, or you can find and wash all our socks.
Right.
These guys really are Imperials. The guards are armed with Imperial blasters. That's endgame tech. We can't steal them, unfortunately. This is when the game opens up. Severney is like our Baldur's Gate, a hub for questing and trading. The quests open locations on...
I haven't really played it as well. I've been meaning to. Like I played it on PC. Tried to record it, and it just did not play well with my version of OBS. So I mean, I also ordered the PS5 collector's edition. So I was waiting for that to arrive as well. But by the time that arrived, I was playing other games. So the furthest I've gotten in Baldur's Gate 3 was past the, I guess, prologue tutorial chapter where the ship crashed down around that time. That's like where I stopped, because I really wanted to record it, but yeah, it's just certain games don't play well on my OBS for some reason. Cyberpunk is the same way. Cyberpunk 2077 plays perfectly fine on Ultra. Like, I get no frame drops, stuff like that. But if I load OBS, try to record it, it wouldn't even run that well, even on like the lowest settings. And I think I have videos of that on my gaming channel. It's just the way it recorded is not indicative of how I play normally.
The world map. The encounters don't appear to be random, however. Some of these locations are generic and honestly quite boring.
That's
but
weird.
There are different biomes with different biome-appropriate creatures.
So if there's no randomly generated encounters, then is there just like one spawn of the monsters, and then once you get rid of them, that they're done? Or is it just, can you reload different areas and the creatures will respawn or something like that? Because like, to make it finite, I mean, I guess it's more realistic, but that seems more challenging as well.
Like whatever this is, or this ostrich-looking thing, reminds me of something I've seen in the Planet Alcatraz documentary. Initially, all our creatures had to be bipedal, so we made an ostrich. But it wasn't a common ostrich, it's a space ostrich. It has paws instead of wings, and it poisons you, a hellish creature from a nightmare. It ended up being the funniest monster in the game. It migrated to the 3D version. We came up with all sorts of creative legends about the relationship between the ostriches and the Negroes. Ostriches think that, well, they don't think anything, but the Negroes think the ostriches are undercover Chinamen who hunt Negroes out of hatred for Negroes, and they spit on them until they're
See that? See the flower.
comatose. Ostriches have a poisonous bite.
На самом деле страусы это
I think that's the first time I noticed the flower.
арийцами.
But actually, the
there it
ostriches
is.
are engineered by the Aryan faction to guard the future Negro concentration camps. At one point, we even had the idea of placing serial numbers on the ostriches, but we couldn't do it for technical reasons. Or maybe we can paint swastikas, we thought. But basically, it was very funny. Ostriches are cool. Blackie has an important mission for us. It's about time we taught the Chinamen a lesson. They killed a valuable agent of ours. He brushes away an invisible tear. We are to invade the Yellow Quarter and brutalize Chief Ho from the Golden Rooster restaurant. By the way, Kaban,
Okay.
says Blackie, do you know why beekeepers wear masks? No.
To not
Why?
get stung?
So that the bees won't find out what they look like. He gives us a
Oh.
mask.
Кто видел черныш?
Whoever offended Blackie should die painfully.
Начинаем операцию Харьки.
Commencing Operation Hamster in the Henhouse. Follow me, Eagles. My kung fu is stronger than yours, they yell. The first challenging battle in the game. Our guys are very awkward to control. The UI just doesn't feel as responsive as in the Infinity Engine games. The foes have a diverse arsenal of weapons, from knives to guns to throwing stars with poison
Ooh.
applied. Oh yes,
Okay.
the sword. This is the aesthetic I was going for with Kaban. A sword, shorts, and an Asian hat to imitate a cope cage.
Что было, шеф, что было?
You should have seen it, Chief. We beat the Chinese hard, but with grace.
Where'd you
We
get
did
that
an old
necklace?
man Ho. Worked on him myself. A heel broke off from my shoe. In short, I think he's dead, but I'm not 100% on this.
You think?
Very good. Excellent news, soldier. The
That means they're
service
gonna-
thanks you.
Служу
Serving the Empire. We got a nice new helmet. It looks good on you, Kaban, says Blackie. Like you were born in it. When a bullet hits the head, the brain shouldn't splash the individuals around you, sir, replies Kaban.
And unless if it's like the helmet that was that Lloyd got in Spy Family. Those things seem impervious. I mean, I guess you still get hit, but those helmets protections were amazingly well done or something.
The White Quarter. I love the music. The locals dress well. The roads are paved. You can target
Right.
individual body parts, just like in Fallout. Critical strike in the head means decapitation. Just look at us. The prestigious gentleman Kaban. This is not canon, by the way. Kaban hated men who dress well. He never considered
Right.
them to be people, since they knew neither life nor the service, and were made out of material fundamentally different from what he was made of. Kaban thought the material these wretched creatures were made of was dog poop. The writing in the game is better
Okay.
than in the book. A plantation on a prison planet. It is with a heavy heart that I must announce that white people are at it again. Yet to
Oh,
meet a
no.
single woman character that wasn't a prostitute. Furious Fist, a fighting ring. The African trainer here can increase our melee skill for 10,000 bucks, which I think is a good deal. This young man's fiancée was kidnapped by thugs and brought here to the planet as a female slave. Worry not, my dude. Kaban is a protector of womenfolk. Or
Right.
not.
на выход вечер.
Head to the exit. Leave your things here. Okay.
Right.
Please don't hurt me.
Хотя
On the other hand, wait just a second.
чуток.
And then
Oh,
he
the
fucks
flower.
her. There is no player input. I thought about removing this segment from the video, but then if I did, it would misrepresent what kind of game this is. Kaban takes a piss on the floor of
Okay.
the brothel, and then tells the woman
As
she should
one
leave,
does.
since this is now a man's restroom. What a strange emotional curve this fucking game has. From jokes to
Wait.
man's
Wait.
restroom. What a strange...
If that's in there, and I assume this is the age, that's wild. Like I can't read like what it says obviously, so I'm assuming this is like the age recommendation 14 and over. That's wild. But I mean I guess different social stuff and all that, right? Like that would not even be in a game nowadays here. For better or for worse. Let's just just weird to see how gaming has evolved in some aspects and devolved in others. It's hopefully we can get out of this sooner rather than later.
Strange emotional curve this fucking game has. From jokes to pogroms to jokes again to sexual violence to jokes. The church of
So it's
whatever
like
the
Leisure
local
Suit Larry
religion
meets
is called.
Fallout?
None of the NPCs here are interactable. That's a comfy looking establishment. Reminds me of the bars in Kenshi. That game fucking owned. Let's start a fight. One fun Fallout-esque feature is that if you steal these guys' weapons, they won't be able to use them in combat. I'm not sure if I like the firearm aesthetic in this game. Guns don't have much of an identity, at least not visually. I can never remember what the different...
Also, are guns like fully boxed, or do they have their own like perimeter? Because if this the pistol to the right here is this whole like 3x5, then that's disappointing, because there's obviously 3 spots empty right here. And then this one is 2x3, but then there's like 1 spot here that's free. And then like this, you have, I mean, there's like 1 spot here free, maybe? I don't know. Oh no, there's 2 spots here free. But I mean, maybe that's like an engine limitation, and yeah, I don't know.
Types are cold. About to check out Planet Alcatraz vibrant gay scene. Like everything Caban does.
Is that why that it's called 69? I just noticed that like this place is called 69.
To check out Planet Alcatraz vibrant gay scene. Like everything Caban does, we attended in violence. Despite the geographical isolation, people in the Asian village seem to be more well off compared to the whites in Severny. Or at least they have more stuff in their pockets. Quite a few interesting original assets. Too bad the engine makes everything look like shit. Age of Decadence also has this problem. I've been reading the book some more. It's crazy to think about, but everything we've seen so far is Puchkov's interpretation of what the Quake extended universe would look like. Coincidentally, do you know who else was a Quake gamer with a massive impact on online culture? Rich Kiyanka, the guy behind Something Awful, who prior to that used to run GameSpy's Planet Quake. Puchkov is really an even more evil version of Low-Tax, but funnier and better at the actual game probably. He really is a man of culture when it comes to Quake. Like in this section, Goblin, who is both the author and the character in the book, signs praises to Dario Casali, a Doom mapmaker responsible for some levels in Final Doom, who then also worked on Half-Life 1 and 2, Left 4 Dead, Portal 2, but most of this was long after Puchkov's book was written. We should stop fucking around and reassemble our Space Marine squad. One of our guys is being sold at the slave market. His name is Gloomy. The price is 10,000 coins, but the slaver is willing to exchange our friend for 2 black slaves. One is available right here at the market. The game's UI seems to have a dedicated slot for temporary characters. They don't have dialogue and their inventories are inaccessible. A lot of effort went into...
Could you not just, because it seems like you can attack everyone. Could you not just attack that person and just free the person and have them join that way?
Making this animation. I'm not gonna bore you with details, but this quest eventually culminates in Caban fighting a horde of starved townsfolk. Pretty sure AOD had a quest like this. That game comes up a lot. Gloomy is freed and he joins our group as a permanent companion.
So
His scout skill is
to that
almost maxed out, but he has surprisingly low perception. Quite a few points invested in pistols and shotguns, so he is like a close-range gunfighter. The locals would randomly make fun of our naked companion, telling him to bend over.
Why?
Yes, I'm principled, but I'm not a moron. One of his idle voice barks. Gloomy marks a bunch of new locations on our map, including this one, an Imperial supply capsule, I think. Kiting, the most dumbass of tactics, breaks many RTWP games, and Planet Alcatraz is no exception. Black people have their own district in Severny, which was just now unlocked for us to visit. This location is called the Dance Floor. The trader here sells rappers' pants, one of the very few places in the game where women aren't prostitutes. Instead, they are factory workers. The The mountain biome has its own music track and creatures. Quite a few different creatures. We get word that our
Sonic?
fellow troop Kruger is captured by the
guess
cannibals
that's a
who live
hedgehog, not a
somewhere in the
porcupine.
jungle east of Severney. The huge gorillas look dangerous, but they actually fail to land a single hit. The coke
Oh, wow.
cage protects us. The cannibal settlement has its own concept art, which looks great. Eating people is a ritualistic, religious thing. The cannibals are a cult. They won't allow us access until we disavow whatever the religion in Severney was called. Quite a few unique assets in the village. Every big community in this game has its own style of architecture, which is just a good RPG practice. We are invited to an audience with someone called Father Vendigo, but our captured mate Kruger keeps communicating with gestures that something terrible will happen if we go see him.
Right.
Давненько мы не виделись.
It's been a while.
Уж думал, никогда
I thought I'd
больше
never
не
smell
буду
anything this
слышать
awful
что-то
ever
такое.
again. You should wash my socks then. It would be better if I drown you in a toilet to make this wasp's nest unlivable.
Dialogue just
Kruger
like
is a
old
sniper with
times.
9 points in perception and no
Oh, wow.
points in rifles. We'll have to fix
Oh.
this. Holy shit, this is the single most expensive firearm I've seen in this game. An Aryan Town manufactured machine gun that costs 500,000 Alcatraz rubles or whatever the local currency is called. It's too big to steal. The cannibals are fantastically well armed. The NPCs selling slaves to the cannibals are called Highlanders, which is actually a reference to Chechnya. There is this Russian belief that the minorities, the mountain folk, kidnap and enslave tourists. This country is a mess. Much of the Russian politics is defined by the struggle of two political forces, the alliance
Sounds
and the,
about right.
the intelligentsia and the Siloviki. A Silovik is someone with a background in security services, FSB, KGB. This game was made by an ex-cop, which is like a lesser Silovik. The cops are goblins to the FSB orcs. Much of what foreigners think they know about the Russian Siloviki culture was actually made up by Tom Clancy to sell shitty
Right.
political thrillers. Americans tend to think of the FSB or
So when like
Clancy
I'm
to
curious
sell
about Tom Clancy though. Like, obviously he has a lot of books, but did they like when he published his first book? Like, was it just like an immediate hit, and then everything else was also hits, and therefore translated to video games or something like that? Or like what was the tipping point of him and having like the #1 New York Times bestseller? Because I mean, for sure, like, he's been around, or his work has been around for a long time. I never read it. I played it. I played a few of them, but I never read it.
shitty political thrillers. Americans tend to think of the FSB or KGB officials as a foreign version of their own spooks. State-employed intelligence professionals, but in Russian hats. In reality, the Silovik culture is more like a combination of QAnon and respect-obsessed gangster culture. And they differentiate themselves from the intelligentsia by being proudly anti-intellectual. There is a world of deranged Silovik shit obscured from you by the language barrier. Is it possible our enemies are undercover Jews working for the British Crown, which secretly rules the world? The Americans tried to exterminate us with COVID. NATO bioweapon labs in
Oh, it was
Ukraine
us.
will take revenge on America by using Soviet technology to cause the eruption of Yellowstone volcano. Stratagem Gamma activated. Stratagem Gamma activated. One of the
Right.
reasons the Silovik culture is practically unknown to foreigners, despite being ubiquitously present anywhere in Russia, is that the Siloviki, they don't really make art. They are not the intelligentsia. This is one of the many layers of complexity that make Planet Alcatraz a unique experience. It's an incredibly rare example of Silovik art.
Okay. I mean, video games
Rescuing
is a
Kruger
form of
unlocks
art.
access to the Asian quarter in Severney. Previously it was arbitrarily locked. The side quests we did was the only way of getting here earlier. The houses are very clean and nice looking. This is the only place in the game that actually looks comfortable to live in. Kaban is very enthusiastic about potentially learning Kung Fu from the sensei here. This little
Right.
building turned out to be a prison where the Asians kept a jailed Aryan whom we've accidentally
Right.
rescued. Freedom! Thanks, man. The Reich will not forget this. Move it, Uncle Fascist.
Are they gonna find
Get out
out?
of here.
О, физкульта привета, руки вверх, сволочь.
Well, hello. Hands
Looks
up,
like they
bitch.
found out.
I be forgetting that this scum sat there for 3 days waiting execution. Kill him, yes? The Master Race went to Heavenly Reich. The ninja wants us to travel around the neighborhood and kill people for him. Easiest side
Right.
quest ever.
Враг думал это пень.
The bad guy thought it was a stump, and then the sniper blew his brains out. It rhymes in Russian. The third victim is in a public place, and the ninja master recommends us to lure him somewhere more private. It's important to do this, since the game actually does have a crime and punishment system. The cops will come after you if they witness the Space Marines doing illegal shit.
So there is a system, but it's only within their line of sight. Because I've seen him with the main character do a lot of killing. So I mean, I guess line of sight makes sense, and I guess if you do like a killing in a different town, they're not gonna know unless if like the people from the original town spread the news or something like that. Maybe I don't know.
This is simultaneously the most fun and the worst combat encounter in Planet Alcatraz. I had to reload 5 times, and
Wow.
all because of shit design. A group of Asians is attacked by a horde of bandits. There are a
Okay.
total of 5 waves. Stray bullets keep hitting squad mates who kept aggroing on the Asians.
So there's
But when
friendly
the
fire.
battle actually worked, it was glorious. So many bodies.
Спасибо, великий белый воин.
Thank you, O great white warrior. To commemorate this victory, I make myself a tattoo on my belly. The reward is a 4-barrel shotgun for Gloomy.
Ooh.
The game has a weapon modding feature. You can attach a scope or an under-barrel grenade launcher to some guns. This little location is called the Policeman Camp. The policemen, like you probably guessed, are a gang. Sort of like the cannibals, but their favorite weapon is a shotgun instead of a machine gun. In combat, Kaban would sometimes bark out a racial slur. This is based on the ethnicity of the specific individual he's fighting. The policemen are multiracial, so all kinds of language is used. Let's rob a
True
bank.
equality,
When a
I
character
guess.
receives a critical hit, they'll drop their weapon. When fighting multiple enemies, the volume of fire is so large that you would receive many critical hits in a row.
That makes
Surprise!
sense.
Planet Alcatraz has flying creatures. You need ranged
Oh,
weapons
no.
to hit
Oh,
them.
no, in the
this
rain,
is the
too.
only encounter type Kaban can't solve with a katana. The monastery encounter is a reenactment of the boomer shooter Blood 1 inside of a boomer RPG. The yellow-robed cultists are armed with submachine guns and rifles. The black ones have pitchforks and are almost entirely harmless.
Ну чё, ща будем мочить всех в сортире.
Kaban threatens to kill his enemies in a toilet, which is a reference to something Vlad Banana said during the Second Chechen War,
Oh.
where he promised to kill the nation's enemies everywhere, anywhere, even while they're taking a dump.
Oh wow.
The main quest eventually leads us to the village of Mombasa.
there's a lot of
Quite a
references
few
to this game,
settlements
so-
in this game. That music, not a whole lot to do in Mombasa.
It's not bad, but it's
unfortunately.
not
And then we get
great,
to
I
Aryan
think.
Town, one of the larger communities on the planet.
Не ходи туда.
Oh, jeez.
Don't go there. The fortress is under siege. The
Was that a
monkeys are
spooky area?
enraged. Take me off this thing. I want to die
Flower,
like
the
a
flower,
white man.
the flower. Oh,
The Aryan fortress
Was
is
that it?
under siege by what appears to be an internationalist coalition of blacks, Asians, and whites. The Aryans have their own technology, like this SMG designed to resemble the actually existing Nazi MP40. The Darth Vader
Right.
mask is good enough for me to permanently retire Kaban's cope cage. The board says whites only.
Товар, однако, есть.
We have goods. Allow us inside to trade, master.
Читать умеешь?
Can you read, you monkey?
Тебя написано.
oh, the flower. But I mean, given what their faction is, that makes sense, right?
This is different. The Aryans speak Russian with a German accent and dress in Wehrmacht-style uniforms. It's like something out of a Hearts of Iron mod. The last missing member of our Space Marine squad is kept somewhere in the fortress, but Demon, that's the troop's name, has an escape plan. There is supposed to be a 5th character, but we won't meet him in this game. That's saved for the sequel. The Sabotage and Reconnaissance Squad Upir is reassembled. 4 ugliest motherfuckers on planet Alcatraz.
Подходит ко мне иной раз.
Sometimes a person would approach me, they would look at my face, and then
Is it a coincidence that they all look very, very similar? Like, is it unintentionally they look similar, or is it just that they look similar because of story
They would
purposes.
no longer approach me. The Aryan town is the second or third biggest settlement on the planet. Depends on if you count Promzona as a settlement or not. The comfy European-y looking fortress is surrounded by slums where the non-Aryans live.
После менингита
Meningitis either kills you or makes you stupid. My brother
Right.
died, but I survived. Barbarossa is a bar and a gun store. They sell very good assault rifles. I think I'll buy one. We need to equip our boy Demon. Frau Gerda here is an extraordinary case of a woman in this game that is not a sex worker.
Huh.
In the wilderness, not far from the city, a Nazi is having a zombie problem.
There's zombies in
It's a
this?
catastrophe, a failed scientific experiment. The secret weapon of the Reich went out of control. I don't get it. Are the dead mutants a secret weapon? Yes, oh my god! Basically, our Negro subject suddenly went mad. Looks like we made a mistake dosing the special Aryan medicine. Or perhaps we held them in the gas chamber for too long. Run as fast as you can. Zombies can soak a lot of damage, but are easily dispatched with headshots. Private Kaban himself, look at that. Our people are everywhere. Margaritka here is a member of a woman-only squad. They're sort of like us, but gender-swapped. The Nazis
Okay.
captured some of their number and are using them for their sick experiments. Characters can crouch and lie down. I didn't mention this before because it's a lot less useful than it sounds. The game's difficulty sharply
I would. It looks like, I mean, they say you can crouch, but can you hide under stuff while doing that, or is it just more for aesthetic purposes? Like if you're crouched, like can you hide behind this well here on the bottom left, or would the enemy like still know where you are?
spikes after rescuing Demon. This is uncommon in boomer RPGs. Almost all of them have a reverse difficulty curve. Anyway, this is a sequel hook.
Мер продолжение из высоких маркетинговых соображений.
Out of marketing concerns, I thought the sequel should be about women. So we created a little side quest about the reconnaissance team Margaritka. Women sent to a planet where there are no women, so they could conduct their sabotage work while remaining undetected. This is supposed to be a prologue for a sequel about women with tons of sexism
Right.
and misandry. Dmitry said we shouldn't do this plotline. Many people asked what purpose does this serve? Why does this little side quest seem so out of place in the atmosphere, in the setting of the game? The answer to this question is, I told the designer to make this questline and he couldn't tell me no. These are my favorite characters, nobody else likes them. Power armor is a fun RPG trope, and we are
sure.
about to see Puchkov's take on it. The policemen are fighting the Asians, who cleverly defend their position with a minefield of poisonous mushrooms.
Okay.
This is exactly what I expected it to look like. The prisoner-made
That
suit
makes
makes
sense.
one near invulnerable to bullets, but
Is that the goal for Might and Magic?
slows your movement speed quite a bit. There is a perk we can take to counteract this, but it seems like something one should plan in advance. The power
Right.
armor is named after Puchkov's movie translation brand. Delivered from the word cunt, it means a catastrophic state of affairs. What the fuck?
what?
Robots. The armed men are the cannibals,
Right.
which for some reason are the most high-tech faction in this game. They must be doing something right. What's the secret? The encounter design is getting more complex. The cannibals counterattack
Seems
us
more
with
complex.
power armor troops and grenadiers hiding behind them. This is almost fun to play. Almost. Don't get me wrong.
Almost.
Even if we ignore Puchkov's awful politics, this is a frustrating game few will enjoy.
So it's like it's a game where even the story doesn't save itself for like, because there are some games with an exceptional story that the story is so good that you will, I guess, forgive the bad gameplay in some aspects, or that the story is so good that you don't mind the challenging gameplay or stuff like that. But you're still wearing that helmet.
The Mombasa locals are trying to resurrect a dead Aryan via a contraption made
Why?
of ostrich dicks or whatever. I have no idea how we got here. I think I blacked out. Oh my god, it's working! Let's dance to celebrate. Get the snow girl, they yell.
Okay.
Reminder that our team's mission on the prison planet is to discover the location of a starship the inmates are supposedly building in secret. This is an Asian-operated construction site.
Да вы охренели.
You're out of your mind, fucking cosmonauts, says Gloomy. We give the coordinates to the commanding officer Blackie back in Severny. He calls the
I
space
can't believe
station Cerberus.
he's called that.
But there is a problem. It wasn't a spaceship. It was
What
a
happened?
spaceship-shaped house the Asian community was building for one of their leaders to commemorate the Chinese achievements in space exploration. Blackie says we're too fucking stupid to work for him, so we should talk to the Imperial agent in Aryantown instead. The Aryans are probably the ones building the spaceship, says the agent. They have the technology and they're motivated. We should infiltrate their ranks. It's easy to do since the Aryans are relatively small in number and extremely paranoid about the Great Replacement. They dress up Kaban in a Nazi uniform and give him an MP40. For multiple attempts to get into our city without proper documents. For self-evident racial inferiority. Private Kaban, I order you to commence execution. I don't think there is a way out of this without clicking the prisoners. This is
Not the
main
flower
quest,
again.
by the way.
Is it?
Her Marshal.
That
The
seems like a
enemies
side
of the
quest, if
city are
anything.
exterminated without mercy. We get insight into the social conflicts of the greater planet Alcatraz universe. The Aryans, according to the Marshal, are dissidents, political prisoners in the Empire. This is
Okay.
also where we hit a game-breaking bug. Black screen that never goes away. I had to execute these poor guys a dozen or so times while I tried different solutions. People were telling me there is no fix. I even thought about tweeting at the developer. Hey,
Did
the
he
game
find a
stopped
fix though?
working after that
Eventually?
scene where we joined the
Sounds like
Nazi
he did.
party and execute people for racial inferiority. What should I do? Deleting the texture cache worked, allowing me to progress. Anyway, Kaban didn't remain in Gestapo for long.
I'm just reminded about how some games handle their caches. Like, in theory, they should be automatically handled every time you start the game, but in some rare cases, I know in Arcade, it can wreck drives. Because in there, I don't know if anyone here has encountered the bug, but it will keep on, I guess, creating this file that is very minuscule in size. I think like less than a kilobyte or something like that. But it will create so many of them in the drive it's installed in that it can eat up gigabytes, and until someone spots it in their hard drive or something like that.
We
It's
quickly
wild.
learned that yes, the Aryans are building a starship, specifically to evacuate their leader, the supposed military genius of planet, so that he could command their forces against the Empire. Hopefully we can win back Blackie's respect. The Cerberus station main weapon overheated after firing on the Chinese residents. We'll have to take care of things ourselves. To assist us in our mission, the Imperials will drop a package somewhere in the desert. The only ethical characters in planet Alcatraz.
What?
The Imperial combat armor of
Did I miss something?
To assist us in our mission, the Imperials will drop a package somewhere in the desert.
So they're dropping the package, and then for some reason we have these two animals doing the thing. Just because they can animate. Okay.
At Alcatraz. The Imperial combat armor offers the best
I thought I
defense in the
missed something,
game,
but I
and
guess
it
not.
doesn't restrict movement. We also get new guns. There are different kinds. The Imperial weapons
Where's the
skill was
food?
100%.
Where's the food? I mean, I assume these are the food, maybe? Only 3?
Get new guns. There are different kinds. The Imperial weapons skill was 100% useless until now. The reason they have a railgun in this game is because it's an iconic Quake 2 weapon, although it looks very different here for legal reasons.
It does not.
In the book, the instructor explains to Kaban how a railgun works and then spells out a Quake 2 console command
CL
that
particle
disables
zero.
the annoying particle effects. This is all written in universe. And then there is this thing, a bomb, Gloomy.
I'm just thinking, like, if this is all written in universe, and just someone just magically pulls up the console, just pulls it up right in front of them in like a hologram or something and just types in that just to get rid of the particles.
This is all written in universe. And then there is this thing. A bomb, Gloomy, is something they
Right.
drop from the sky, said Goblin with a condescending tone. I get it. So this is like an explosive mine. It is. Is it potent?
Okay.
I'd say it's extra potent, not just some antimatter-filled garbage. It's a Satan-class extermination device, more popularly
Right.
known as Mommy. The starship is being constructed in the
Not
caverns
Daddy.
below the cannibal village. Despite our technological advantage, they still pose a threat. Some of the cannibals are armed with bazookas, a weapon we haven't even seen before. These can one-shot even fully armored space marines. Believe it or not, it's actually possible to side with the cannibals, at least according to this walkthrough. Admittedly, some of these plot elements sound like an elaborate joke, but then again, it's planet fucking Alcatraz. The caverns are mostly populated by the Aryans, who do all the actual construction. The Aryan Cannibal Pact, a CAP. They have plenty of power armor. Just because we got endgame equipment doesn't mean the combat suddenly becomes fun or a cakewalk.
Yeah.
Look how easy it is to get
Yeah.
stunlocked. The actual starship is hidden deeper
Oh
underground.
yeah. I'm reminded of was it the Resident Evil 3 remake? I tried to record a run of the hardest difficulty, which I got to the end. I got to the very end until the last boss battle, and it just, I could not beat it. It would always stun lock me, because every time you get hit, then that's basically a game over, because even though you can still take multiple hits, you're just gonna get stun locked. You get hit, knocked down, get back up. By the time you get back up, the enemy will swing again, and you get hit, get knocked down, you have to get back up, stuff like that. It's so annoying.
It looks like something out of Star Trek. The new Star Trek, even. It's cool that the Imperial technology looks distinct from the prisoner-made crap we've been using previously.
Oh,
But it
yeah.
feels like a Nazi starship should look more, I don't know, Nazi-like.
Did he expect like the ship to look like a swastika or something like that? Like what?
Hold fire. I am the pilot of this ship. I'm the only one who can fly it. You won't leave this planet without me.
Right.
The destruction of the starship does
The setup for that is just, that's such a slow setup. I love that.
without me.
Yep, about that. I'm just gonna scoot in closer, just to make sure.
The destruction of the
Right to the
starship
heart.
doesn't immediately end the game. You can still fuck around and finish whatever side quests. But
Oh, that's
this is
cool.
a fairly long adventure, 30-40 hours or so.
Huh.
By this point, you probably had enough. The shuttle is sent to extract us. This is the closest thing the game has to an end boss. Access to the shuttle is blocked by a mechanized Aryan force, led by the same genius general they were trying to get off planet. My god, we will oppress you a little. One of the few battles in the game where I actually had to micromanage my characters. The Space Marines celebrate with alcohol.
As one does.
Commander, we should leave, said Tarzan, grimacing from pain. No generator means no power source for the Teutonic stabilizer. If we fail to find the elevator, we won't make it. We'll be buried beneath the rubble. Kaban looked at Goblin. Should we go? Goblin raised his index finger and said, "Not to our pants." And then they ran.
Right.
The reward for completing the game is the Space Marine song.
Hopefully I don't get claimed for this. I know there's sensitive reactions that I get claimed for the music, like Snake Eater, so hopefully I don't get claimed for this. I
This is a
don't
mix
know
of two obscure song genres. One is Blatnaya Pesnya, which depicts a romanticized version of Soviet criminal subculture. And the other one is Ruski Chanson, which is the same, except it's usually about military service, or a life of a low middle-class Khrushchevka dweller.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know what I experienced here, and apparently there's a second one.
Those
just
of you who had
speechless.
the misfortune of playing the English version, I'm interested to know what exactly was cut. Needless to say,
I'm
I don't
interested
recommend
too.
anyone pay money for this game.
I assume I guess the hot coffee scene got censored most likely. Because like for some reason they don't take too kindly to that type of genre, that type of gameplay in normal games for some strange reason. Yeah, I just.
But you can give money to me via the crowdfunding platform Patreon. So, Planet
Hey.
Alcatraz, what a strange experience this is.
It was a
Explaining
strange
this game to an
experience.
Anglophone audience is like trying to explain Family Guy jokes to a 90-year-old Siege of Leningrad survivor. In the Steam reviews, the Russians are having a mini culture war over this game. Most of the dialogue is written in the criminal slang, which Russians recognize as something low status, something below them. But this is
Right.
false. Planet Alcatraz is not even a bad game. Goblin Puchkov is a genuine artist. It's just his medium is racism, rape, and war crime denial. The brush, the canvas. The views portrayed in the game are fairly mainstream, especially among older folk. In 2019, Goblin was given in honor of addressing Vlad Putin during an annual press conference.
Wow.
They very carefully filter people for these. So when I said he could become the president one day, I was only half joking. If you think the mainstream role pushed Puchkov to moderate himself, it's actually the opposite. Jesus Christ, Dmitry, you senile fuck, your wife is Jewish.
Okay.
Thought about leaving the Quake book here for someone to find, but a book on boomer shooter deathmatch advice might be useful for future videos. Gonna do something with good vibes next.
Yeah, it was
Deathmatch advice.
I saw this video pop up, and I guess that's what the comment was saying, that I need to react to this one and Planet Alcatraz 2, because maybe this is like the sequel to those two things, maybe? I'm not sure. But yeah, that was strange. Like, I mean, I get it that there's like these quote unquote controversial segments, topics in this game, but I mean, I'm not offended. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like, what an interesting experience this game is. And like, he didn't really mention, like, because like it just ends with like bringing down the ship, right? But there's no hint of a sequel, so I don't know what the second one's gonna be about, but I feel like that's also gonna be a journey when I react to it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, thank you for watching and have a nice day.